Welcome, everyone, to a very special episode of the Nurse Boss Shift podcast, the show where we empower nurses to embrace leadership, pursue their passions, and thrive in every shift of life. Today, we're celebrating an incredible milestone, our second anniversary. For 2 amazing years, we've shared stories of resilience, inspiration, and transformation with our incredible community of nurse leaders. And this episode is no different. It's packed with the same energy and dedication that has made this journey so meaningful. Now, let's welcome the visionary behind this mission, the heart of the Nurse Boss Shift podcast, our incredible host, Dr. Kiyonna Jones and Christal Parker. They're here to guide us through yet another impactful conversation. Let's dive in.
How many people can think of one thing that you have sacrificed on your journey as a nurse? I would love to hear from someone. What have you sacrificed when you look back and you're like, man, I really did sacrifice something that cost a lot, that was very valuable to me? Time with your kids, that's very good. So what I say then is, most of us never realize the true cost. Family costs, emotional costs, the mental costs, the physical costs, right? We all compromised that for this career that we were looking forward to. Now, we know that there is more. We all know that. We see people out here. We have social media. People are out here who have the same path as us, who are actually winning. And we know that that could be us, but we just can't figure out how to make it our reality. We knew our plan in nursing school. We knew we were going to go from A to Z. And all we had to do was pass that test. Or if you went on to get your advanced practice, get that certificate, and then you could get a job. This is not that. So there's 5 things I want to make sure I cover for you guys, and I'm going to talk about the first one, which is the power of mindset, which is in shaping your future. I always talk about mindset because the truth of the matter is you can have the whole plan. If I gave you right now 500 clients, would you know what to do with them? If I gave you the exact blueprint, would you know what to do with it in order to start your business? No, and the reason why you wouldn't is because you have not worked on your own personal development. So I want to ask you guys a question. What do you think you need to get started as a business? So what I say is what you really need is discipline, you need perseverance, and you need an unwavering faith. Many of you guys think you need money. You don't need money because if you have the right discipline and the mindset, you will be resourceful and you will get to the money. You will figure out. You plant seeds and you do not see a return right away. You do not get the fruit the same day you plant that seed. This is entrepreneurship. Then once you plant the seed, you gotta water it, you gotta grow it, it has to have access to sunlight, and then it has to do its job. All you can do is give it time and wait. And then, over time, you start to see the fruit blossom, and that's your reward. That, my dear, is entrepreneurship. And I can't tell you that it could be 6 months, or it could be 5 months, a year, 5 years. It's a long process. So this is why I say it requires discipline and perseverance. And you have to believe in God, because somewhere or your faith, because somewhere as that fruit and that tree is growing, that's God's work happening now. You don't get to see it. Some of that don't make sense. Even science can't get to it, right? So that's where your faith comes in. Many of us are not willing to do that. We're not willing to lean in that. And therefore, we want to reap the immediate satisfaction of a paycheck, but we're sacrificing what we are truly here and designed to do and be, and how we can establish ourselves in this world. What are your habits right now? The person who you are, who is sitting here today, is a direct result of decisions that you have made 5 years ago. The person who you will be in 5 years is a direct result of the decisions you make now. If you were capable of being that person, if you were capable of having that thing right now, you would already have it. You don't, because you have not made a transformation. You continue to surround yourself with people who are not pouring into you. You continue to question yourself and the decisions that you are making. You continue to ask for permission from people who you don't even want to be like. and yet you don't understand why you're not making it, is because you are deciding to watch TV or Netflix or gossip or watch these blogs instead of learning something, investing in a skill, a podcast, listening to YouTube. There's so many things now you guys can do for free, but we don't. But yet we say that we want more money, but yet we're not willing to sacrifice what it takes to be the person to get more money. It's a sacrifice, you guys. So here's 3 things I want you guys to know. The first thing, when you set an intention, guys, write this down. When you set an intention, disruption will follow. Not may, not possible, not if you do it this way, it won't, it will. All HE double hockey sticks will break loose. You will question if you should be doing this. You will see money going. And you're used to getting paid after 2 weeks, and it's not replenishing. Those are the seeds that you're planting. So when the disruption happens, you have no idea. It's chaos. It has to be chaos, because how are you going to be transformed without it? How are you going to develop the skills that you need to become the person you need to be? The only way you can develop the skills is when you have the hardship, so you can realize, oh, okay, I need to do this next time, or I survived that. I'm a whole different person because I survived something that I didn't even think I could survive, right? That's where the transformation becomes. So we got intention, we got disruption, and then we have anointing that happens over you. That's when you start anointing. That's when you start to show up as the person that you were designed to be. The one that you've been fighting all this time because everywhere else told you that you couldn't and you shouldn't and you can't. Now you start to show up and you get confidence and you're like, wait a minute, I can. I'm doing it, me. Now, what you guys don't know about me, as I shared with you all of my accolades and my PhD, and I did it, y'all. I did all that. But I also am a high school dropout. If you anchor to something bigger than you guys, I'm sorry to tell you, I know we all want more money, but it's not money that's gonna get you there. Sorry, it's not. You will reach that number that you want and still be miserable if you're not connecting to something bigger. Something that's beyond you, something that makes you get up in the morning. I connect to you guys. I connect to my daughter. I connect to my family. I connect to the freedom, right? I connect to a bigger why, and it's not financial. That's just like an additional bonus. That was the initial goal, but then I realized how fluid money was. It comes, it goes. Next, you got this, you got that, then it's gone. It's like, that's all fluid, you guys. And that comes with the mindset. And one of the things I tell people, they ask me, like, what's the hardest part? I say, the hardest part is mindset. But what could get you there is if you finally accept that you're never going to quit. Because how can you quit when tomorrow might be the day? That's what I say. Probably about September, I was looking for jobs. I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. This is it. But every time I go through, and this is a process as an entrepreneur, every time I go through it, I'm like, you already in hell. What you gonna do, turn around? And then I gotta go back through it again? That's instant gratification. You don't get that as an entrepreneur. You're planting seeds that take a while to grow. Now, how much you're willing to grow is gonna determine how quickly you get to reap the benefits of that seed, those seeds that you're planting. So the better farmer you become, the more healthier and the more fruitful your harvest will be. So you have to decide, are you willing to invest in those skills that teach you farming so you can get the best out of that harvest? That's totally up to you.
Attention aspiring entrepreneurs in the healthcare industry. Have you ever dreamt of starting your own successful IV hydration business? Well, your dream is about to become a reality. Imagine a business where you can make a difference in people's lives while building a thriving venture. We're excited to invite you to a free webinar that will unlock the secrets to launching a successful IV hydration business. Join us for an exclusive event where industry experts will share invaluable insight on the essential steps to launch your IV hydration business, building a six-figure business from scratch, navigating the challenges in the healthcare entrepreneurship journey. But that's not all. Attendees of the webinar will get a sneak peek into our comprehensive IV Hydration On Demand course. Discover how this course has empowered others just like you to turn their passion into profit. Picture this: lifetime access to in-depth video trainings, business strategies, SOPs, and exclusive bonuses that can catapult your success.
Register now for our free webinar at https://apply.trueusavvy. That's truusavvy.com/training. Don't miss this opportunity to kickstart your journey to a rewarding and lucrative IV hydration business.
So first is don't be afraid to fail. It seems like a lot of people are even scared to get into business or do something else because they're so afraid of failing. But failing really helps us in the end because it teaches us lessons instead of looking at them as losses. I have learned to look at every loss as a lesson. So the lotion and hand sanitizers that's sitting in front of you is actually a line that I created. That was my first business idea. Is I worked with a chemist actually to create this lotion specifically for the needs of nurses. I didn't know how to do that. How do you get a lotion manufactured? I didn't know. So I started going on Google, and then that's how I found out about that there was a such thing as business coaching, because I never knew that was a thing. So I met with a business coach, or I had a consultation with one, and she didn't get back to me. It didn't really seem like she got my vision right when I was talking to her. And then I had a meeting with another business, and luckily, so I was so bummed when she did not send me an invoice for whatever coaching service she had. She never sent me the invoice for it. So I moved on and had to find someone else. So I was really sad about that. But in doing that, I actually found a business coach who specialized in product. So that's how I got my lotion created. So it was all around nurses and self-care. And my idea, being new in business, was that I was going to go to nursing conventions and I was going to talk to people because I'm better face-to-face and selling this. And then COVID hit. So after COVID hit, they were suggesting that we go online and go live. And I don't know about any of you, but I was so afraid to go live. I was so afraid to talk on social. Get a YouTube channel, what? No, I can't do any of those things. But being that it was during COVID, I got obsessed with business. So that's kind of another thing for new entrepreneurs. We were obsessed with nursing school and studying, but then we get into business and expect that we're just gonna know what to do. So during the loss of my product sitting on the shelf because I was too afraid to go online, I was able to, during COVID, really dig deep into learning business, learning what terms like ROI meant. I was so confused, landing pages, all the terms in business. I was so confused when they were talking, but I just kept showing up for classes. I was taking everybody's online class at the time. So at least the lesson that I learned from the product business was at least to get myself out there. So when I opened up my IV hydration business, I had to have a talk with myself and tell myself I had to get out of my shell. We hear so many people say oh no, social media, that's not my thing, that's not my thing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your thing, but you have to pick a plan. So it either has to be going out and networking and meeting people, or it has to be getting on social to get your brand out there. So don't be afraid of that, to talk and tell your story, because someone put it to me someone is waiting for you to solve their problem, right? So there's a nurse out there whose hands are ashy like mine would be from washing them multiple times, having psoriasis, having eczema on the hands. And this lotion was a cure to a lot of people. Same as our IV hydration businesses, same as our skin tightening businesses. There's people out there who need these products and need the services that you have. So don't be afraid to talk about it, and also to tell your story, because people relate to your story much more and quicker than they relate to the product or the service that you're selling. So next, we talk about this ad nauseum, especially if you listen to our podcast, but it's get a coach. Please don't think that you take one class or get one coach and that's it. That class or coach is teaching you a specific thing, and then you have to get another class or another coach to take you to the next level. So it's never about just taking one class and that's it. You have to self-reflect and see what you need personally and in business and get a coach for that. So if that's needing a coach for your personal finances to be able to take care of your business finances better, then that's what you need to do. If it's a course on how to speak, if it's a course on social media, whatever the course is, and somebody knows what you don't know, then don't be afraid to pay and to take a course and to always have a coach. You should always have a coach. Getting obsessed with business, not letting yourself get distracted or not letting yourself get discouraged rather, because you don't know the business terms and you don't know what's the next step. A lot of times, especially in IV hydration, still trying to figure it out. We can coach you and teach you guys, but you guys are still the ones out there trying to make it happen. So don't give up on that. And get obsessed with it. Try to do whatever you can to not fail in your business and to not give up. The main thing in business, they say, or the first rule of business is to not give up. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, if that's the first rule, then it must be something significant that most people want to give up and most people want to fail, because it does get hard. Business is like one of the hardest things that I've ever done, but it's so rewarding. And it's only hard because it showed me the areas in my life that I lack, the areas in my personality that I lack, that I had to go get help or go get coaching for, and that's okay. Especially as nurses, we become nurses, nurse practitioners, so we feel that we're up here and we're like, we know our thing, we know how to be a nurse, and then we have to start over at business and we get discouraged a lot of times. But we forget how bad we wanted to be a nurse and how we fought for that. So it's the same that you have to do in your business. And lastly, please don't forget self-care. That's what the products business that I started was all for nurses and self-care, because we're all so busy taking care of everybody else that we already know that we take care of everybody last. And as much as we hear that and say it, we still don't do it. Waiting for time to make time for you to take care of yourself is never going to happen. You have to, well, for what I do is I sit on the calendar, put self-care day, repeat every 4 weeks. So it's on my calendar and I'm reminded, and I actually schedule an activity or something to do to take care of myself. Because even after coaching and teaching people about self-care so much, I still forget self-care. And so it's something that I have to remind people to actually make a plan to take care of themselves, actually schedule it out, and don't wait for time to make time for that, because it's never gonna happen. Something's always gonna come up.
As we close this episode, remember that the journey to growth, whether personal or professional, begins with a single step, powered by your mindset, fueled by perseverance, and anchored in purpose. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to transform, to learn, and to rise. Let today be the moment you commit to your dreams, no matter how distant they may seem. Believe in your ability to create change and embrace the process, because the seeds you plant now will grow into the success you envision. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey with us on the Nurse Boss Shift podcast. Continue to lead with passion, inspire others, and thrive in every shift of life. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep striving for greatness.